Out of Yolo County, where there are two main efforts at the site of that fireworks facility explosion in Esparto. First, the recovery process begins. Yesterday, we saw crews on site carrying out what appears to be remains on a stretcher. We've chosen not to show that. Loved ones are also there waiting to hear about the 7 people that are still missing. And second, investigators are collecting evidence, trying to find out what caused the initial blast that set off all of that destruction. Well, yesterday we saw a team from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives, or ATF, at the scene. Some people are still under evacuation orders who live nearby, and 33 customers are without power still. PG&E says their crews can't get access due to the investigation, and they'll be working through the weekend to restore power. Now to the zoning issue. The property is zoned for agriculture and did not have the permits to store fireworks. KCRA 3's Andres Valle spoke to a fireworks accident expert who says protocols must be followed to store explosives.
If there is a large hazard in their area, they should know about it, and they should be prepared, so they can be prepared if they have to go there.
That's what Richard Meyer, a fireworks accident expert, says a fire department should know if explosives like fireworks are stored in their area. And after Tuesday's explosion of a fireworks storage facility in Esparto, Fire Chief Curtis Lawrence acknowledged Wednesday that they were aware of the site.
I can say that we have done site visits at the location, and when we were aware that these facilities were there.
KCRA 3 investigates looked into how the county zoned the property. Yolo County confirmed it's zoned only for agriculture and did not have the required permit to store fireworks. This is Andres Valle with KCRA. I was wondering if your fire chief was available. We called the fire department asking if they knew the property was only zoned for that. I already emailed him, but I mean, you can pass along the message as well. We left messages and emails with the fire chief. We also tried speaking to Yolo County Supervisor Angel Barajas about the property's zoning. He declined to comment, but at Thursday's news conference said that they're working to ensure ordinances, policies, and procedures were followed.
We have trust in our partners and our agencies that the investigation is going to be transparent. Richard says the amount of fireworks or pyrotechnics stored in one place should be limited and be clearly marked.
Fireworks or pyrotechnics, they try to limit the amount of material stored in one place. There is placarding that's required. You know, you have to post signs saying that these are explosive materials, and keep away a certain distance and keep fire away a certain distance.
It's unclear if those protocols were followed.
Andres Valle, KCRA 3 News.
That's what Richard Meyer, a fireworks accident expert, says a fire department should know if explosives like fireworks are stored in their area. And also, moving on to other stories here related to this, these developments about zoning and permits raise a lot of questions as well. KCRA 3 reported earlier this week that the Yolo County Sheriff Lieutenant lived at that property where the explosion took place. And an Esparto volunteer firefighter is linked to the fireworks company devastating pyrotechnics. That was not addressed at yesterday's news conference, where we could not ask questions. But Esparto's fire chief did say he's asked the state to lead this investigation.
We have requested the Office of the State Fire Marshal Wallman Investigation Unit to take the lead on that investigation, and given the nature of the investigation, they have no comments in any updates currently at this time.
More now on the families of those still missing, and authorities have not confirmed their names, but family members have identified some of them to KCRA 3. They are 41-year-old Carlos Javier Rodriguez, told you about him yesterday, and 3 brothers, 18-year-old Jesus Ramos, 22-year-old Johnny Ramos, and 28-year-old Joel Melendez. For 2 of those brothers, it was their first day on the job. Yesterday, several family members from the Bay Area and LA traveled to Esparto to try to get more information. We heard from the grandmother of the 3 brothers, Jesus, Johnny, and Joel. She says she's still tracking their location, which is at the now destroyed fireworks business, through their cell phone. She is desperately seeking answers after not hearing from her 3 sons for more than 48 hours.
I'm begging the city, the state, the marshals, anybody. I need information, please. If you guys cannot do the job, let us do the job. I want to go in there.
And the Yolo County officials released a number for family members to call for questions about recovery and identification. If you know somebody, you pass this along. It is 530-312-5640. And we did speak to an anthropology assistant professor at Purdue University about the identification and recovery of those 7 still deemed missing people. Melanie Beasley is a Sacramento native and an alumni of the Chico Human Identification Lab. She also helped recover remains during the Camp Fire. We asked her what challenges those working to identify remains may face.
The direct challenges of the hazards of a site like this. So, at the Camp Fire, we worked closely with the fire departments to help with the removal of heavy debris, things that could be dangerous. I don't know in a fireworks factory, like what kind of toxic chemicals would be, or what kind of, possible dangers of other types of, unexploded fireworks.
We also asked Beasley a question we keep hearing from families as well. How long will it take to identify those remains? She says she can't speak to the warehouse explosion specifically, but that when she was working on the Camp Fire, it took around 3 weeks to recover all of the victims, and everyone was identified about 2 weeks after that. We will continue to update the investigation on the explosive disaster at the fireworks facility, including the people still missing. Download the KCRA3 app to make sure you get those alerts.